I'm Al-Ittihad until I die. Al-Ittihad until I die. All right, guys, how's it going? No, listen. We did a draw on here the other day, right? Where you guys that entered were assigned, drawn a Saudi Pro League team for the season for a bit of fun. Do you know what I mean? And it just so happened I drew out Al-Ittihad, which is the Saudi champions. Listen, people were screaming, fix, it's rigged. And I was like, how can I can't even win a prize because I'm taking part. But I wanted to have an interest in the Saudi Pro League. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you did get a team drawn, if you are participating, how did your team do at the weekend? I'd like to know. I've been following some of you guys on Mastodon, which is a Twitter rival, liverpoolfootballclub.social. Put that in your browser and you can go over there. And I've just to see some of you guys getting right into the Saudi Pro League stuff has been very, very funny. Even Miserable Martin. And it's funny, right? We talk about Miserable Martin, and Miserable Martin has said all summer consistently, I wonder when they're going to sell more, right? So, like when we were waiting for Casado, it was like, oh, they must be close to selling more then. Anyway, so Al-Ittihad allegedly, apparently, reportedly won Mo Salah. I'm not going to shout his name. It's not the first time that he's been with a possible move over there, and if he does move, yeah, I hope he goes to Al-Ittihad. Yeah, 'cause it's my team. Right, let's knock the silliness off. Let's see where we're going with this. So, I have never expected Mo Salah to leave this summer for Saudi Arabia. I thought that it would happen next year. His agent, Ramy, I can never remember his name. Ramy Abbas. His agent, Ramy Abbas, he came out on Twitter about a week ago when the last set of rumours came out about Mo Salah, saying that we hadn't discussed a move this year or something like. I don't know, but if you read the tweet, I'm not going to. Do I have to look it up? I need to look it up, don't I? See, when I do my videos, right, I'm not a YouTuber like, hey, what's up, guys? Like I'm not like that. There's no script. Do you know what's he called? Run me a bath. Twitter. There's no scripts around here. Do you know what I mean? I just hit record and go with it, which is why my videos are so long. Ramy Abbas on the 7th of August said, if we considered leaving LFC this year, we wouldn't have renewed the contract last summer. Mohammed remains committed to LFC. I wouldn't believe a fucking thing he says, guys. I know you don't believe agents anyway, but there are actually some good agents, and I know some of these agents. Him, all right, he's nothing but fucking trouble, apparently. Some people think that, not me, obviously. And people at Liverpool Football Club ain't got much time for him, allegedly. And we'll leave it at that. But the key words here, I think, if we considered leaving LFC this year runs until December 2023, yeah? See how clever I am, right? It's okay, I've wasted, aren't I? I don't know, you could say, well, what about next year? Well, that's always been what I thought would happen, to be honest with you. And what I've said repeatedly for months now about Ramy Abbas is that he has to be like behind the scenes trying to expand and build on relations and relationships, form relationships with people in Saudi Arabia, because that's going to be the big money move. Now, if they were thinking, well, we could do that next year, then you don't wait until next year to establish those relationships. So I imagine he is allegedly trying to make contacts and build up friendships, etc. in that region. Now, we all remember the infamous photograph of Mo with the PSG Supremo, which many of us thought might see him end up going there, right? And I thought we'd see a lot of speculation this summer about Mo Salah and PSG, but those were opinions I had a long, long time ago, right at the beginning of the year. Nothing came to fruition on that front. I to this day, I believe that that photo that was circulated was deliberate. I genuinely believe that. I know it sounds like big conspiracy tinfoil hat wearing stuff and that, but these footballers know what they're doing and these agents know what they're doing to get stuff out there. And, you know, if I went to meet my friend that happened to be an extremely wealthy man that owned or was, you know, in charge of one of Europe's biggest clubs, and he said, do you want to pop down for breakfast? We're both saying the same. My reply, but how the fuck can I do that? You know, all these cameras that are around, if I'm seeing with you, it's going to go viral, innit? There's going to be hell on, you know what I mean? It's going to be... But he still went. I do not trust Ramy Abbas, and I do not trust Mo Salah either. Now, you probably don't care whether you trust him or not, because all you're bothered about is what he does on the pitch, and rightly so. Mo Salah is a great player, right? And I want him to stay at Liverpool, and I'm not knocking his ability or his contribution or how important he is to Liverpool Football Club. I support Mo Salah, but I'm allowed to say at the same time, I don't trust the fucker, all right? You could extend that and say I don't trust any of them, but I think some of them are a bit more, I don't want to use the word loyal because that makes it sound like he's disloyal. So I don't know, I don't want to get into a big debate about that, but there are reasons why I don't trust Mo Salah and his representative. When last season finished, Mo Salah put a tweet out or an Instagram post, I can't remember which, I think it was Twitter, talking about disappointment, you know, and a lot of people said, well, he's allowed to do that, he's just saying that, but some people read it in a different way. And some people also said it didn't even sound like Mo Salah, you know, the way it was written. It was like a statement. And maybe it was a statement written by his agent saying, I'm very disappointed with the way things are. Now, if you were to take what the agent said about, well, we wouldn't have signed a contract if our intentions were to move him out, I don't believe that. That doesn't make any difference. In fact, signing a contract extension or a new contract can make the process even easier, or it can protect the club, you know, with release clauses and things like that. You know, at the end of the day, a contract, you can tear it up and wipe your ass on it. Do you know what I mean? The players have the power. And many of you do not like FSG, and I'm sure many of you are thinking, oh, that's the big plan all along to sell them, to sell him. I think selling Mo Salah would be catastrophic. I can't see how they can possibly allow that to happen now, because we can't sign a fucking number 6 at the moment. In my opinion, we need 2 midfielders and a defender, bare minimum right now. So imagine if they sold Mo Salah, what then? Do you know what I mean? Now, the thing is, would they sell Mo Salah? Yeah, they would to those people out there, yes, because the money, they wouldn't be able to turn it down. If you think, you know, normally with any other player you'd go, or any other league, you'd probably go, no, that'd be ridiculous. The money would be absolutely astronomical. Do you know what I mean? Now, because Mo Salah threw a hissy fit at the weekend, which the manager played down and said, well, he's bothered and that's it. I have no problem with it and all that. Because he threw a hissy fit, what do you think, if you own one of those clubs out there, right, that have an interest in him, for example, they saw that the same as we saw it. So if you were sat there with your, you know, your partners, when I say partners, I don't mean your missus or your fella, whatever. I mean, you know, like the people that run the club or the directors or the people who got this, you'd be sat there going, he's not happy, look. Think we should make a cheeky bid, fuck it, should we go for it? Do you know what I mean? These are just normal conversations that people have. So it doesn't surprise me that this new link has now surfaced. We had one the other week, that was shut down. But now because Mo Salah has behaved like this, it's going to make people think, I wonder if there's a chance we could get this fucker. And the first thing I thought when Mo Salah showed that, you know, publicly that he was unhappy with the manager's decision, the first thing I thought at the time, and I don't know if you thought it, was, I wonder if that changes anything. I wonder if he's, you know, like you can, you know, like in that moment of frustration, on the blower to Ramy Abbas, whatever he's called, right? Get me out of this fucking place. I'm not having this shit. Do you know what I mean? These are just like normal things. Doesn't mean they happen and stuff like that. There isn't a conspiracy behind everything. Maybe it was just one of those things. People will say these things happen all the time in football. I'm not so sure. I think the manager can say he has no problem with it. Would you have a problem with it if you were the manager? Publicly, I'd say I ain't got a problem with it. It's just a bit passionate, you know. What I mean, personally, I'd be like, you fucking do that again, I'll knock your fucking head off. Do you know what I mean? Because it is disrespecting the manager. It's undermining the manager, making him look a fucking idiot. But maybe, I'm not trying to make a big deal out of this, right, guys? Or else I would have made a video about the whole incident, and I didn't, because I don't think it is a big deal, like just leave it kind of thing. So I'm not trying to shit stir or anything. I'm just trying to say that it's a little bit straight. I'm going to rephrase this. It's not strange. I can understand why this has come out, is what I'm trying to say. Because I can imagine people out there saying, he's not happy, look, let's get him out. We know we've got a chance of getting him next year, but maybe Liverpool will talk now. We've got more money than they've fucking got. Let's try it on. I actually genuinely think that this particular link is genuine. The ones that we've seen previously, I think, is just idle speculation. Oh yeah, Mo Salah, great player. The Saudis want, the best players, blah, blah, blah. Not saying that the previous links or rumours were complete nonsense, but I don't think there was anything really in it. Whereas this one, I think there is. And I'm aware of a couple of people, a couple of commentators, if you like, that are putting their weight behind it. So that to me makes me think, yeah, there's something in this. Now, it could just be a case of them, that club, for example, saying, let's try it on, we'll see if we can, what the response is. The other angle you could look at, if you want to go down the route of conspiracies or what might be happening, is that Mo Salah really did say to his agent, I'm fucking sick of this shit, get me out of here. And his agents acted on that and said, look, he wants out. I'm not sure I would go with that. But the other thing is the agent could be doing, and this is something to do with his agent, that people allegedly say, all right, hang on a minute, no, I need to change the wording of that. This is what people have said about that agent. They have said that he does a lot of things without his client's knowledge. So there is another possibility that agent could be creating this without Mo Salah's, nod, if you like. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm doing a very good job with the video, to be honest with you. But when you see a link, you've got to ask yourself, why has it appeared? Why am I reading this? I say this to you all the time. Why am I reading this? Why am I hearing this? Who does it benefit? Is it just a bored journalist that's making up a rumour to create traction, sell newspapers, shitty Twitter ITKs trying to get interested accounts, YouTubers, podcasters just trying to generate revenue, right? Is that it? Is it just something completely pointless? There's no truth in it whatsoever. I always ask myself that. And then you've got to look at, well, what's happened recently? So we've had, the claims recently to do with Mo possibly going there. The agent coming out publicly to say, if he'd have wanted to do that this year, blah, blah, blah. Usually, you don't respond to bullshit. So I'm very suspicious every time that agent says anything, guys. I'll be honest, I do not trust him at all. And I know for a fact that people at the club do not trust him either. And there are people that think that Mo Salah has been complicit in a few things that the agent has done. Not everything, but does that make Mo Salah a bad person? No, he plays for Liverpool, we support him, we love him, we don't want him to go anywhere, right? But this is the real world, right? And we should be able to have these conversations without, fucking upsetting someone if Mo Salah's your hero or something like that. Mo Salah is very switched on, he knows what he's doing. You've only got to look back to when he flirted with the Spanish clubs when the pandemic was taking place, with those carefully, those sit-down interviews and things during the pandemic. And this is a player that doesn't really like attention. So at one time, there was this thing called the Egyptian plan, which was, Salah and the agent were going to try and get into Real Madrid, there was a lot of pressure being put on Mo Salah to try and make that happen by people in Egypt, politicians, big businesses. They wanted an Egyptian at Real Madrid. Nothing ever came of that. Then there was a bit of skirting around Barcelona. Nothing came of that either. Then the focus became PSG, and as you know, nothing has become of that. So all those options seem to be passing by, and it now looks like the Saudi Pro League is the big cash in, right? And I can see him going out there. I just think that he hasn't wanted to push for that this summer, for example, because Mo Salah is an outstanding player. He's in a different league to the likes of Henderson and Fabinho, right? And disappointing to see those players go out there, not just because they've left Liverpool, but they're basically giving up on their career. They are, aren't they? I mean, I don't know, it depends. Surely as a footballer, you want to play the top flight game, and we're talking about the European game here, right? When I say European, I mean, being in the UEFA Champions Leagues and things like that. But you can understand why they're doing it, you know what I mean? They're cutting short the career a little bit. It's not being disrespectful to the Saudi Pro League, it's just facts, right? And they're trying to build it up, and fair play to them. I hope it works out for them. I'm not against that region in the slightest, I'm not going to go into all that bullshit, all the politics behind it all. And I'm sure my video will get restricted by YouTube, because every time I mention that region, my videos get restricted. Anyway, we're going off track a little bit, but basically what I'm trying to say is I don't think Mo Salah is ready to down tools, you know what I mean? And he's on a very lucrative contract. He wants to play at the top for a lot longer. But so did Jordan Henderson, right? And the other players that have gone out there. Money turns your head. And I think that Mo Salah would be one of the biggest, most lucrative deals for that region. And if you're John Henry, we know what John Henry and FSG think. If a ridiculous offer came in, there's no way in the world to turn it down. But, if Liverpool had been more successful in the transfer market so far this summer, I would have believed there was a possibility that we could lose Mo Salah, but I just can't see it at the moment because, maybe that's why John Henry flew in. Like, come on, get these players in because I want to sell Salah. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, guys. It's I'm not sure if I've done a very good job with explaining the video. I'm just trying to tell you a little bit about Mo Salah and his agent, and not to trust him as far as you can throw him, really. I think the agent will be, like I say, making these attempts to form relationships in the background. But I'll end the video by saying this to you, right? These links today are a little bit more stronger, more credible than what we've seen before with Mo Salah and the Saudi Pro League. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen. That's not what I'm insinuating. I'm not insinuating anything. What I'm saying here is that makes the interest real to me. I believe this is a genuine interest in Mo Salah. So I now say to myself, why? Why now? Why the sudden interest now when it's been made clear before apparently he's not available? I think it does stem from Mo Salah's reaction at the weekend. And it's either someone trying it on, saying, well, maybe we can get him after all, or it's someone on the Salah side, either shit stirring, working on something either now or in the future. You've got to decide which side it is. I mean, do you really think that his agent is oblivious to all this and there's nothing happening? He's not speaking to anyone about it? Of course he is. He absolutely 1,000,000,000% is. And my own personal hunch, based on just hunch, if you like, is I suspect that the agent is shit stirring in the background, is working on these relationships, is saying to them like, we could make it happen. Next year is probably more doable, but we could make it happen. And I think he's pushing and pushing and pushing to get those digits higher and higher and higher. The final outcome obviously comes down to Liverpool Football Club. They can reject it. And in a normal scenario, you would say Liverpool will reject it because the squad is so bare thin. And how do you replace Mo Salah? But if you saw an absolutely ridiculous hundreds of millions bid come in, there's no way in a million years they'd reject it. At the present time, I'm not concerned. So at the time of recording this video, unlike Miserable Martin, I don't think Mo Salah will be going anywhere. But one thing we've learned, especially this window, is that anything can happen. So that's that. you know, the videos that we've uploaded today, the conversations that we're having at the moment, they're all deflating, you know, miserable. We're talking about Mo Salah, we're talking about going for players that are fallback options. We're making videos earlier in the week and last week about, you know, players that we've missed out in the transfer market. I think all of us as Liverpool supporters really deserve something fucking good to happen. Do you know what I mean? We need something to happen to get us back on track, because I've never seen so many Liverpool supporters in the 25 years that I've run Cop Talk be so disillusioned with the way the club is being run. And I'm not talking about the FSG out people, you know. I'm talking about fans that have really, like, don't get caught up in that, or the top Reds, FSG out stuff. Just genuinely saying, do you know what, I've had enough. And so many people saying, it's not that they've had enough of Liverpool Football Club, they've had enough of the top flight game. They're seeing all this money with Saudi Arabia, our heads are turned and chopped off. And, you know, they're just saying, I'm losing love for the top flight game because of, like, just the amount of money in it. You know, whether it's your Sky subscription or the different broadcasters, or you understand what I mean. And I've gradually seen that each year, but that's why we need something positive to happen, because those people, they will find, you know, the love for it again if they just see something positive happen. That's what I think. So let's hope something fucking positive happens real soon. I'll end the video by saying, do not trust Ramy Abbas, Ramy, whatever his name is. In fairness to the man, his job is to look after his client, not Liverpool Football Club. He's not doing anything wrong if he's doing anything at all, because we can't prove that he is. There are whispers in the background, say differently. He's representing his client and also himself. And if I was Mo Salah's agent right now, I would be doing the exact same thing. I'd be saying, right, we're going to, Mo, the Real Madrid thing's not happening, bro. So we're gonna get this money. We're gonna make you the biggest fucking footballer in that region. Your family and you're gonna be, generations are gonna be set up for fucking eternity. We're gonna make it happen. They've got a good friendship. They're very close. I would, you know, there are suggestions that his agent does things without Salah knowing. I'm sure that happens with a lot of agents, but I'm more inclined to go with Salah knowing what's going on. But there you go. So anyway, that's the rumours today. Mo Salah to my club. Hang on a minute, what's my club called? Al-Ittihad. Al-Ittihad. There you go. Yeah, Al-Ittihad till I die. I hope we sign him. Okay, guys, let me know what you think about Mo Salah. As Fabrizio Romano would say never in football. And that's it. I'm not even going to insult you by asking you to thumbs up the video or hit the love heart or anything. But what you can do, because it's just a miserable video, isn't it, really? It's not very exciting. I don't blame you if you don't want to fucking support the video. But you could leave a comment. People, you know, we'd like to see what you've got to think. All right? And join me on Mastodon, liverpoolfootballclub.social. It'll be good to see you over there. It takes a little bit of getting used to. It's a little bit different to Twitter, but it's a very, very, very good environment for football discussion and everything else as well. But you will escape all the nonsense on Twitter. You will not have to endure all the Twitter ITKs and shit like that. So we'd rather stick with the credible side of things. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. I'll speak to you later. You know what? I'm fucking falling asleep. I was sick of hearing my own voice. But I had to address it. Okay, speak to you in a bit.